Hey, podcasters. Actually, wait a minute. We're the podcasters.
Hello, podcast listeners.
Hello, podcast friends. So, hey, today in the podcast, you'll get a chance to hear what you can't do in Honolulu. Mm-hmm. It's not a free-for-all, guys.
Not anymore.
Let's see that. We've got what's going on with The Walking Dead. Obadiah is trying to find a deal on streaming TV, and apparently the real problem here is not with the cable companies. It's just that Obadiah is a cheapskate.
There's nothing that can be cheap enough.
I feel like that's what it comes down to. And those financial woes carry over into Nikki, who is still holding the iPhone X debate.
10.
The debate rages on.
iPhone 10 debate, which they say the pre-orders start on Friday, so that's why we're talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Also, a bunch of people are getting together to scream at the sky next week. No, it's in 2 weeks, and we get into that a little bit. We talk a little bit about the struggles of becoming Mario.
There you go.
So
now for Mario, that does remind us, depending on when you listen to this podcast, I know a lot of people listen to it the following day.
Yeah.
So it might be tomorrow or it might be today if you're listening on Thursday, the 26th. Tonight we'll be having our Thursday the 26th.
Thursday the 26th at 9 Eastern,
That's
6
right.
Pacific.
We'll be having our Mario event with our Facebook Live friends. So if you're on our Facebook page, either Radio U or the Radio U Riot one, make sure you follow us there because you'll watch us for our live event, which will include us dressing up as Mario and Luigi. We're playing Mario Galaxy 2, and we'll hang out and do some riot food fights.
So we look forward to you spending more time with us.
Exactly. Well, it's fun because you can watch and we can hang out.
So, hey, you guys enjoy this podcast, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow night or whenever you're listening to this. That would be Thursday, October 26th.
Correct. Have a good day.
Bye.
The part that keeps me up at night, we paid them for this. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
It is the Riot on Radio U, 877-2-RADIO-U. You can also go to radiou.com, and you are also free to go to Honolulu today.
Well, yay!
So if you've been thinking to yourself,
it's free.
You need an island.
Oh, wait, we're free to go.
Free to go where I tell you.
Yes, but not that it's free to go.
It's not free to go. But if you would like to, I'm not going to stop you. In fact, this is a free country. You don't need to have papers. I mean, okay, you got to have some papers. You got to have like your ID to get on the plane. But I don't know if you need ID to get on a boat. Think about that. A nice boat ride all the way to Honolulu. You're just going to decompress.
How long would that take?
You're going to be in the, somewhere in the hull of a Russian trawler. Leaving from San Francisco, stopping in Honolulu. You have to stay below decks. You can rent a small bunk.
You can't actually look outside.
You're hot bunking with other crew members. And by the way, you have to work the bilge base. Sorry.
So is that how someone traveled to?
No, actually, this has nothing to do with that. Beautiful Honolulu. Today, they've got a new law that's going into effect, and that is this. You can't cross the street while looking at your cell phone.
In Honolulu?
That's correct. So if, it is a straight up, give you a fine on the spot kind of offense.
So kind of like almost jaywalking, but if they're going to grab you for something?
So, if the police are around and they see you looking at your phone in a crosswalk, that's a $100 fine.
Or
Boom.
say you get injured and you're walking across and you're shown to would have been looking at your phone. You're... whatever happens.
Could be on you.
Could be on you for that one.
So the idea is there are way too many people that are getting hit by cars because they're staring at their phone. And so rather than, you can't really completely ban phones outright, right? So here's what they're doing. They're saying, hey, as soon as you step into the street, phone has to be away. You can't be looking at your phone. Now, they're not the first place in the United States to do this. Oh, excuse me. I'll just say that exceptions to this ban include making 911 calls.
Oh, good.
Or if you're an on-duty emergency responder.
Or I guess they have to have a lot of signage because most people would be maybe walking the streets there, tourists.
Yeah. Well,
and they might not know. That's like if you're in an area where you're not allowed to text and drive or you can't look at your phone. But there's all these different types of rules from city to city, and you don't know until you get there and until you make a mistake.
Well, Rexburg, Idaho was the first U.S. city to outlaw texting and crossing the street in 2011. And then the second city was Fort Lee in New Jersey the following year. Honolulu would be the first major city. So those are like small cities. Honolulu's a big one. So
can you imagine the irony? You're walking across and you get hit while you're looking at your phone by someone who's driving looking at their phone.
See, actually,
that's exactly what would happen.
To me, that seems like a perfectly viable scenario.
Yes.
Wouldn't be shocked in the least
at all
that had actually happened.
So I can see they're trying to help.
That's exactly right. I mean, I will say there are some things where it's like the soda tax, and you're like, man, you politicians are all so full of stuff.
Soda.
But then you end up in something like this. They're literally trying to keep you from dying. They're just like, guys, please, would you stop looking at your phone? Okay, you won't. All right, if we fine you, will you stop looking at your phone? We're tired of you guys getting run over by cars. $50, fine. $100, do we have your attention yet? So, I guess phone
it's
safety.
Not the worst.
Yeah, you should think about that today. Even if you're not in Honolulu, if you're going to step into the street where there are, 2,000 or 3,000 pound fast moving objects, might be a thing to look up. I don't know. Sorry to tell you what to do.
Besides, you're in Honolulu. It's beautiful. Look up. That's where you want to. Idaho, I might be looking down, but, there.
They have beautiful sunsets there, Nikki.
True. Okay, during that time, but...
say it's all the dust in the air.
It's not Hawaii.
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's...
Coffee and contemplation.
And the riot. Obviously. Radio U.
Nikki, do you have any money?
I have money.
Like in a bank account somewhere?
Yes.
Do you have cash too?
I have cash today. Someone gave me cash.
You have cash?
I have cash.
You saw your mom yesterday.
That wasn't it. Someone else gave me cash.
Wait, is this your waitressing job?
Yes, it's my side job.
So
I have cash though, and it never happens.
Who gave you cash?
Well, that we don't need to discuss.
I want to. Wait,
I'll tell you off air.
I swear. If Eric's dad had cash out for you on your way out the door,
that is not it.
I have had it. Because Eric's dad's making Eric breakfast. If he's handing Nikki money so she can get herself a little something while she's out,
that's not
I'm
it.
done. I quit life.
That's not it.
I quit.
That's not it at all.
Okay, well, I just wanted to tell you, I want you to go ahead and gather up all of that money and be prepared to give it to Nintendo.
Why?
And you're like, because Mario Odyssey? Oh, sure. That's a thing. But that's nothing compared to what's coming for your money, Nikki. I'm talking about Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. They just detailed yesterday the new Animal Crossing game for phones. Oh, man.
I got into Animal Crossing the tiniest a bit when it came out for, I forget which version of the DS it was.
Okay.
But I never got down that hole.
Let me tell you what.
But if it's on my phone,
that's what I'm saying.
Then I'm looking for holes.
You drop that, like $30-$40 if you pick it up on the 3DS. Okay. And it's great. I've played the 3DS version. I've gone down that hole. I have. And you carry your 3DS around. But after a while, you stop carrying your 3DS. You're like, no, I can't carry this thing around. Forget it. But your phone is with you all the time. And here's the thing. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is going to be free. But it looks just like all the other Animal Crossing games. And it takes real money. So here's the idea. Like, let's say that you wanted to build a playground. And, who doesn't want to build a playground?
Sure.
You can, I think, gather materials, crafting stuff, whatever. And then it takes some time. You put it in an order. I don't know how long it will take. I haven't gone through all the details. Or if you wanted to, Nikki, some of that real money. Some of that money that you had, we could do a rush order on that for you.
Okay.
We call a couple guys, get that thing right on together, and you've got your playground built.
Sure, so it's freemium.
Oh, yeah. No, totally. But it sounds like...
It looks really cute.
It sounds like there's plenty of gameplay there without paying if you are willing to wait.
Out.
But I mean, in reality, isn't that all mobile games? Like most of them you can play if you're willing to wait.
Yeah, that's the joy of the phone part. So Animal Crossing, the next one in the series, will be released for iOS and Android later in November. So later next month.
They haven't given a launch date for it yet, but sometime in late November.
Cute. Anytime. Way to go, Nintendo. Anytime you do a phone release, way to go.
Nikki's all over that. Did you played all the way through Mario, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
See, I didn't even do that.
I played through it during Christmas, so I had a break, but after that, it wasn't nearly as entertaining.
Well, the thing that's amazing to me is that you would be, I think, the fourth friend I have that played all the way through the Mario game, and they are people that don't play console games. So, like, for me, Mario's on my phone. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. I got it. I
But
bought
you play
it.
console games.
Right. So for me, I'm just like, you know what? I'd rather just get out my Wii U or whatever and play Mario that way. And I've got my one friend Daniel in Japan. He never plays games, doesn't care at all, whatever. And then he finally one day tells me, hey, I haven't told you this, but I'm obsessed with that Mario game on my phone. He's like, in fact, I'm so obsessed with it that I actually had to force myself to take a couple of days off
just
from
to take a
playing
break?
It's like, oh my God.
Hey, again, with these holes, when we fall in, you go in hard.
Well, and you've got your phone with you all the time. So,
All right, so Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Digest? Pocket Camp will come out in November.
I feel like you're a prime candidate for this, Nikki.
Oh, I bet I am.
So I would say either get it or stay very far away from it, and you're going to have to decide up front.
I'm always looking for a game, so I'm sure I'll try it.
Why don't you let me hold your money? And that way...
why don't you hold my money and my phone?
Okay.
Why don't you just do that?
And then when you want to play, I'll let you take your phone.
Why don't you have my laptop as well and take my watch, too?
Okay. Anything else? You feel burdened by anything?
No. Just to make sure I'm safe.
Well, that's what I'm here for, Nikki. That's what I'm here for. Well, one of the things anyway.
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I was in Best Buy yesterday, and they had a Mario hat that I almost bought. It was a Mario Rabbids hat.
Yeah.
They have like a little clearance section now, and I walked past and I was like, hey, Mario, And, it's funny. Their idea of clearance and my idea of clearance are very different. Best Buy's like, 5% off. It's clearance.
You're like, that's not it.
Like, wow, yeah, $30 was too much, but I'll tell you what, now that you've got it down to $29.50 or whatever, like...
When the sale just takes care of the tax only.
I have to take it home. How can I not take it home? Yeah, I didn't take anything
So
home.
that is tomorrow night. Make sure you join us on our Facebook pages.
Yeah, I have in my pocket right now, I have a list of things that I also have to go shopping for, including everything we need for a Chocodilla.
We're making these quesadillas with Kit Kat bars, Snickers bars, and maybe a Twix bar.
Yeah, so that's going to be a thing. Mm-hmm. So I got a lot of work to do, and I got to get some bib overalls.
For your Mario costume?
Well, yeah. So I got to, go take care of that.
I think since we're doing this mostly for gaming tomorrow, you could totally just get away with wearing a red shirt.
Oh, Nikki. Don't you feel like that's just...
That's cheating?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's cheating at all.
Need some bibs. Make it authentic.
I didn't want to make you feel like you had... That's why you said you have to go to Walmart today.
Well, I was just going to go to Walmart and get the other stuff, and it's like, well... I was picking Walmart because that is a place that I am sure they've got some
overalls.
Bibs. Yeah, and maybe I'll just start wearing them all the time. Like I'm wearing bibs; they're sweet. Look at that! It's got a pocket. It's got a pocket out front.
They became very popular for some of this year, for like a minute this year, but maybe not with your style.
Look, here's the bottom line: whatever is popular and cool or whatever, I can't wear it.
Not that version.
No, not at all. Like whatever's like the hotness, like I can't wear it. If I wear it, people are like, yeah, but it looks wrong on you.
What happened?
And it's like, why does that look wrong on you? And it's like, oh, no. It's just me that looks wrong. The fashion is still solid. I just am not a good representation of said fashion because, my body shape. Apparently, it's okay to be a woman with curves, but if a man has curves,
you're not allowed to.
All of a sudden, nobody's interested.
Plus, you're buying a different style of overalls because...
well, Nikki, I'm supposed to be a plumber. Okay?
You don't need to have it doesn't need to be the tight ones, so yeah. I don't think it will be.
So I'm just saying, like a lot of people are pushing... a lot of things on me right now and making me feel uncomfortable. Society, judging me, but like I just want to be a plumber. And
Mario's not a plumber anymore.
He is a plumber,
according to Nintendo.
They say that he was a plumber, but the thing is, Nikki, it's like being a Marine. Once a plumber, always a plumber. You don't stop.
And once you dress like a plumber, you can't stop dressing like a plumber.
That's right. Come on, plumbers. Everybody in the guild, say what's up.
There's nobody. There's nobody else.
Yeah, right now there are plumbers out there, Nikki, and they're like, finally someone to speak for my people.
No, but Obi will be dressing up as Mario, so that's why he needs the overalls.
Yeah, that's why I need some real authenticity.
The Riot.
They hate me, they hate you, they hate us.
Why else would they make us listen to the worst of the Riot? Radio U.
It may be true that you don't have any money, but be aware of the fact that while you don't have any money, other people in other places are falling all over each other to spend money on the dumbest stuff imaginable.
It's different.
The dumbest stuff imaginable. Let me give you an example here, Nikki. You knew who Elvis Presley is, right?
Yes. First off, had no idea you could do that.
Nailed it, right?
Shivers. I don't know if they're good shivers, but they're shivers.
Pass that bucket for just a second. Just a second. You know.
No, lovely job.
I'm going to be Elvis dressing up as Mario, pretending to be Obadiah.
For your Halloween
for
costume?
Halloween this year. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Elvis, one time, apparently broke his finger. As a result, Elvis had to have an x-ray.
Yeah.
I like to imagine Elvis in the
hospital?
in the ER talking like that.
Maybe he didn't talk like that normally.
Maybe he's like, no, Elvis broke his finger. And he talks about himself in the third person. I hope he did that. I'm sure he didn't, but it would be great if he did. Now, Elvis is going to need your help. Hey. So,
why is that funny?
I don't know why it's funny. Okay, he got an x-ray of that broken finger. And that x-ray
is now on sale?
Is now up for auction.
Who wants to buy it?
Who wants to buy this x-ray?
Who wants some medical records?
Of the Kang. Yeah, isn't there like HIPAA or something?
I think that's nowadays.
So
back then, I think it was just less monitored.
Just back then, they were like, yeah, we got cameras in the rooms. Like,
we got x-rays for days.
No big deal.
You can have all of them.
You want to see Elvis naked? Really naked? Check out this x-ray. $5,900 is what they're estimating that it's going to pick up at this auction. Somebody has
that money to spend on that.
Someone is like, you know what? I've got this stupid $6,000 laying around. I can't figure out what to do with it.
Maybe they're a fan of the House of Elvis, and they want to keep building on the collection.
You guys know that Velvet Elvis thing that we've got hanging out there over the wood paneling in the living room? What do you think about, and just hang on, what if we got an Elvis x-ray and we framed it and we put it right next to it? Like, just right there next to it. What do you guys think?
Anything? No?
Amazing, right? Okay. All right. Well, that's what they're going to do. They're selling it.
Makes you think if you have any problems, you should keep your x-rays in case you become famous one day and you can then have it.
Yeah, I've kept all my x-rays. All of them. September 9th, 1973, the day that Elvis broke a finger. And this guy was like, I'm so saving this.
I'm just keeping this forever.
I'm so saving it.
I think it's just because we don't need collection stuff. We're not in that world, so it seems really weird to us.
Yeah. Well, you know, Nikki, his hands were his life. Kind of. He had to sing, but he also had to play the guitar. So that's a thing.
It is.
The Riot talks about wanting a day off, but when do we get a day off from them?
Whoa! You suck at this!
It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Okay, here's where I'm at. Me and a couple of my roommates were talking. We're like, hey, a couple channels we'd like to get headed into the holiday season so we can watch some Christmas movies. And I don't want cable. Yeah, well, guess what? Guess what?
It's so close to it.
This is what it comes down to. I was like, last night I signed up for Sling TV because there were a couple channels I wanted. And I get a 7-day free trial, only to find out that they're like, yeah, I mean, we have those channels, but you have to sign up for it, and then you pay extra for those channels.
They're very not transparent when it comes to their actual lineup.
And I want you to know what I did. I canceled it immediately.
Did
I
you?
wrote them a little paragraph that said, your front page is intentionally misleading. You have these channels listed. You have a color-coded system. And what you actually meant was, if I sign up for this color, I have the privilege to pay more to buy this channel. What is that? So canceled.
Sure.
Just outright. Then I started poking around. I'm like, okay, there are there are a couple of options out there. But what I wanted to do was pay around $20. That was like the magic number for me from Sling TV. I was like, this is perfect, $20. I'll give that a shot. And no, it's not there. Like, you can't. It's not going to happen. I looked, YouTube TV's $35. PlayStation View is 35, I think. It's like they start at 35, and then, of course, it can go a little bit higher. And then, like, I'm still mad at Sling TV because they were like, oh, yeah, we have a cloud DVR. Forgot to tell you.
That's $5
That's
extra.
$5 extra dollars. And, oh, did you want more than 50 hours? That's another $5.
That was hard, too, because I have Sling TV Blue and Orange.
Uh-huh.
And so those are like two different tiers of different channel options.
Oh, they're tiers, Nikki.
Now, if you have Blue, I only have Blue because I needed more than one stream at the same time.
Uh-huh.
So I had to go with Blue. But when I went with Blue, it dumped a couple of my channels from Orange that you're not allowed to get with Blue on its own. So I have to get Blue and Orange.
And then a little extra on the side.
A little something, something.
Yeah, they have this whole thing.
It's very weird.
They're like, you can only stream one device at a time. You wanted to stream
Unless you have
more?
Blue.
You're going to have to sign up for Blue. How much is Blue? It's another $25. But the good news is we'll knock $5 off the other thing, and it's like, all right, look, I know what you're doing here. I'm not stupid. This is like, it's like being on a street corner, and there's a little, we're going to here's 3 cups, and the ball's going in one of the cups. Like, follow the ball. You know where it is.
And it did not used to be that bad.
Oh,
but
my
then
gosh.
There's now rules and regulations and things that keep them from like, hey, this channel won't let you be able to stream it all the time. Like all these stupid things.
So I was looking at YouTube TV, and they have their setup really is and isn't great. You've got to have a Chromecast if you wanted to
or Apple
work
TV.
on your TV or Apple TV. Okay. But then I was looking, some channels they won't let you watch on your TV.
Correct.
You can't cast all the channels. And I'm just like, wait, what?
There's the rules.
Like it's bizarre. And their rules, it'd be like the kind of rules where I'm like, Nikki, you're not allowed to come over here. Be like,
on Thursdays and Fridays, like very weirdly specific ones.
It's
like I can't come over there if I'm bringing my TV, but if I'm on my phone, I can.
Well, all I want to say is congratulations to cable, because I was digging around. I'm not kidding. It would be cheaper for me to just get cable.
Well, you just doing the streaming one? The streaming cable option?
The streaming cable option is like they have a thing for $20, but they don't offer a cloud DVR.
Oh, sure.
But if I just wanted to just get cable,
yes,
$30,
yes,
and for like an extra $5, quote unquote, I'd have a DVR. But that would be I'd have on demand, I'd have all the sign-ins, all the whatever. It's the same. So everybody's like, you cut the cord.
That's the man.
That's the man. That's the man. But that's the thing is, like, if you get cable, that's like the golden key that unlocks everything. You can do whatever the heck you want if you have cable. But if you don't, we're sorry, you can't have that. No, I just want these 2 channels. I'm sorry.
You can't have that.
That'll be an extra $5 and $5 and $5. For $150, we can get you those 2 channels, okay?
Well, I know the channel set that you want, they're supposed to come out with their own app, so you can just watch it that way.
It's a lie. That's not real. It's all a lie. The whole thing is a lie.
The Riot. Turn it down.
And rip the knob off.
Radio U.
I think that The Walking Dead is in trouble.
What do you mean?
I think The Walking Dead's in trouble. Did you know that it premiered last weekend?
I did, yeah. I've seen a ton of stuff on it.
Well, okay, we have established that you and I are in very different worlds.
Pushed at us.
But I want you to know that I, who am an avid social media user, I guess to an extent, didn't hear a
thing?
peep. Not a peep. And I normally don't have to, I don't watch The Walking Dead, but everywhere I turn, normally people are screaming online about The Walking Dead. Oh my gosh, it's back.
Well,
Walking Dead launch party. I'm so excited. All this stuff. Not
a peep.
I didn't hear anything about it.
I feel like that has died down a lot over the last couple of years for The Walking Dead. It got replaced by all the Game of Thrones stuff you would just constantly see all the time.
Well, but they never ran concurrently that I know of, and so it just honestly it felt like some of the same people that were pumped about it.
The fever that you would see online normally would be for that, or like I'm sure with Stranger Things too. You'll see that on Friday and this weekend. But I haven't seen as much for Walking Dead, but still see some stuff.
I'm not kidding.
Did they pull the numbers or?
Well, yeah, they had their lowest season opener since season 3.
How many seasons are we on?
Well, this is season 8.
It seems like it needs to just stop by now.
Well, Nikki, even if you kill it, it'll keep walking.
Well, I mean, you have that, and then you have the other one during the summer, and it's like
Fear the Walking Dead.
It's just too much.
No, well, but they don't think so. They're like, it's not too much. It's just enough.
No, I feel
How
like
about
we're being burned with it.
All right. Well, The Walking Dead came back. Season 3, they have long acknowledged that was
the top.
Hey, we had no. It was the bottom for them.
Oh, that was the worst?
That was their rough spot and all that stuff. And everybody's like, oh no, they brought it back and it's been doing super well for all these seasons. But then lo and behold, they hit not an all-time low, but a darn low.
Almost to rock bottom.
To give you an idea, like their peak, like the highest like ratings they've had, season 5, opening episode, 17.29 million people. Season 8, opener, 11.4 million. So that's like 6 million off. And you're like, no, that's a lot. That's a thing. But, they're still going to keep making them.
Of course.
Just keep at it.
Just because there's not as many doesn't mean it still doesn't bring in money for them.
That's still a lot no matter what. Even if it's bad, it's still pretty good.
Sure. They said, what was the one with the guy with the bat? That whole stuff?
Negan.
Yes.
I don't even watch it, and I know.
They said with the Negan thing, it was so intense in the beginning, like for the opener and the first couple of episodes, but then it became too intense that it actually backfired and hurt the show.
Sure.
To where it was like people didn't want to deal with that much, so it started to dwindle with that.
Hey, I have a thing, okay? When people tell me they watch something and it makes them cry, I don't want to watch it. And they're like, but it was inspiring. I don't care. I don't care. I don't need inspired. I don't need to cry. But it was so intense. I don't need to cry. I don't need to whatever. And when people talk about The Walking Dead, I hear them talk about it, I'm like, I don't need that in my life. What you're talking about, that like the fear, the anxiety, the crying, I don't need that. I get enough of that from Nikki. I don't need
you don't need that
to
from your
spend my
show.
spare time
You're right.
doing that.
You're right.
Your morning, but without yelling, laughing, or music.
Don't deprive me of that.
We wouldn't dream of it. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, I believe you're going to need to contact someone. And by someone, I mean probably Eric, because I don't know if you heard about what's going on with the iPhone X.
So what is the 10? The iPhone 10.
It's the iPhone X.
10.
It's an X.
10. And sometimes I don't even catch as you're saying it that way, and you're going to make me say it wrong.
Well, I just want you to know that it's intentional because
I know it is.
I'm not Roman. And so by you putting an X there and then telling me how I'm supposed to pronounce it. Really?
Anyway, so yes for the 10.
So they say that, and apparently this is confirmed. That's what this is. Okay. It's according to BuzzFeed. So
is that confirmed? Yes or no?
BuzzFeed is saying that they have confirmed with Apple that pre-orders for the X start 12:01 a.m. Pacific on October 27th.
That makes sense because I used to have to wake up at like 3 in the morning. So, so Friday. Friday.
And then they are saying November 3rd, 8 a.m. local time, the iPhone X will hit stores. That's next Friday.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about
money.
Two more. No, I'm not even ready to talk about money, Nikki. I'm not even ready. I want to talk about two other words.
Yes.
Production delay.
Yeah. Well, no, that's when they said it was supposed to be out. It was always November 3rd.
You know what? You're a sweet kid. You're still not hearing it. See, they've had production delays. It's not that none of them exist.
Sure.
It's just that they haven't quite been able to make as many as they did.
Oh, yeah. So now they're saying, because at first people were talking, there should be plenty, because would people pay $1,000 or $1,200 for a phone?
$1,200.
But yes, they say there'll be less. So I'm sure it'll be hard to get.
Oh, there's going to be less, Nikki. Mm-hmm. There's going to be less. So let's talk about what is it going to take to put you
in that phone
into an iPhone X.
So here's the two problems. All right. First is the money, because I would get the $1,200 one, and I don't have $1,200. Okay.
You said you had some cash.
I don't have that much cash. I have not.
You don't even have $1,200 on you right now? What are you talking about?
And it's not just $1,200, but the other part of me is Eric, and Eric would also want one as well.
He probably has $1,200.
So it's not just $1,200, it's $2,400.
Seriously, I got
and there's no way any of that is getting any of that money.
Get the fainting couch.
Yes, we're
Bring
falling.
it in here. So I'm falling over.
It's not just one, but it'd be two phones.
Oh my gosh.
And it's ridiculous to think about that.
Oh my gosh.
It was hard enough to always pay for when they were originally like, I don't know, $600 or something. It was always quite a lot. The second part of it is, my iPhone, I have the plus size. So I like the larger size phone. This will have a larger screen, but the body of the phone is going to be smaller. I actually don't know if I want that. I just don't know. And for that much money, I don't know. I want to be sure. So I can't go blindly into it, I feel like. I feel like I need to hold it first.
I understand that. Do you know I have very similar? There's another X coming.
Yeah.
It's an Xbox One X.
Yeah.
And you and I mean, mine is, I could buy 4.5 of them for the price of your two phones. But I feel like I need to see it first.
Yeah, I want to hold it. I want to spend a few minutes with it to decide if I'd rather just have a larger phone.
Like, do you need to be alone together? Do you want us to leave the room?
Not like that, but I have to know for sure. Because, gosh, it's so much money.
So much money.
And I moved not long ago, and I sold a lot of things then to get ready to move.
Not enough.
And so I don't have any, extra things I can sell to make up for it. I can't get another job right now. I have nothing. I have nothing.
I want you to know. You getting another job to pay for this phone would be my favorite thing that ever happened in the history of the universe.
You would just come and troll me.
I would. I want you to work a counter somewhere, and I want you to know I'm in there every day. Can I speak to the manager, please? Well, this lady here refuses to serve me.
Get fired from all of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do.
You put out a tip jar. Nikki's working at the Gap, and there's a tip jar out. I'll put a tip in. And
I have to go see family at Christmas, and I need to rent a car, and I can't afford all of it. I just can't. So
you know what, Nikki?
We'll see what happens. This is the mature me, the realistic one.
Have you yet sent your letter to Santa?
No, not yet.
Okay. Because I want you to know, Nikki.
And I don't think I'm the only one.
What's that song from that one movie? There can be miracles if you believe.
That song, is that it?
That's the one. That's the actual one. Okay, that's the real one.
That one? Because that's how Christmas is looking like.
All right. Well, that's up. The takeaway for everybody else is pre-orders allegedly start this Friday morning at 3 a.m. Eastern, or that would be 12:01 a.m. Pacific, and then it will be in stores Friday, November 3rd. They'll open at 8 a.m. Eastern, and they would love it if you would line up for it to give them $1,000. Wait in line to pay $1,000.
Worst of the riot, not enough? Not enough. Check the blog and all things Riot at riot.radiou.com.
You know, Nikki, I don't know if you've noticed, but there are strong feelings about President Trump.
Oh, no.
People have strong...
Of course there is.
People have strong feelings about the president. And, you've seen people have strong feelings before, but not like this. It's more.
Are you talking about the shouting thing?
I totally am, dude.
I thought you were going
to.
Am. I saw a smidge about that, and I was like, well, that's something.
No, this is the perfect thing at the perfect moment. This is going to blow up. Right now, it's only taking place in, is this in one in New York City? Yeah, this was in New York City, but... Okay, no, it's already blown up. There was one originally supposed to be in Boston. Now there's one in New York City. I'm sure they're going to end up all over the place. Here's the idea. People want to get together on the 1-year anniversary of the election. So November 8th.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the New York City one. It might be different in your hometown, but they want to get together from 7 to 8 p.m. Wednesday, November 8th in New York City at Washington Square Park and spend an hour, and I quote, screaming helplessly at the sky.
I didn't know it was an hour. It's a long time to commit to that.
Well, maybe you're not supposed to do it for a whole hour. Maybe it's we're going to get together and
instead of a moment of silence, it's a moment of yelling.
We'll have a moment of yelling and then we'll scream. And
why? Again, I'm perfectly glad that everybody gets to the ability to like or dislike whoever they want. But there's a lot of people that are taking a lot of days off still for things that we just can't do. Can you go join that?
This is in the evening.
Oh, it is? Okay.
7 to 8 p.m. So that will, of course, this is really an anti-second shift campaign.
Sure, that's what I see.
You could set something up for the middle of the day. You decide how you want to do it. But I don't think I'm really into the whole political protest on this side, but I love the idea of getting together with a bunch of people and we're just going to start screaming. That would be a unique,
you would just laugh.
Interesting experience.
Because he can't handle things like if someone's throwing up or yelling. His coping mechanism is he laughs at everything. What if someone screams so much?
They scream so much they throw up.
Because there's going to be some people that are casual with this, but there's going to be some that are so emotionally involved, like this is their moment.
Well, yeah, remember that lady at the inauguration that was like rocking back and forth and screaming?
Yes.
And everybody shot video of her. It's going to be like that. But dude, I'll tell you right now, if I went and somebody screamed so hard they threw up, that might be better than you getting a job to pay for your iPhone. It might be better than that. I'm not going to lie to you. It's the idea of somebody who's just like,
you would not be able to handle it.
Yes! I got to go with the camera now. I wanted to go and participate just for funsies, but now I have to be there to document it just in case someone throws up.
So I guess we'll see what happens.
Makes me want to go out for a nice dinner beforehand. I'm not like a lot of cream-based stuff, all right? And then maybe run a couple miles and then just start screaming.
Real nice and mixed up for
everything churning, you know?
Nice.
Start the screaming process.
Well, to me it seems like too much work, but maybe.
Well, I mean, you and I both know that I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to line up for an iPhone, and I'm not going to the park for a scream. But there's something in me that does love the idea of getting together with a bunch of people and just screaming. I got to think about what I want to scream about. But, you know, they're screaming for Trump. I'm
sure there's something.
Nikki and Obadiah. Obadiah and Nikki.
Love, hate, hate, love.
All right, everyone in, let's go. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I want you to take a look right now. Hold out your hand and look at your hand. What color is it? You know, what race are you? Okay, what gender are you? Do you know, like, what your gender is? Okay, we got your gender and your color. Take a look at your hair. What color is your hair? What color is your eyes? What do you look like? And here's what I want you to know. There's absolutely room at the table for you. Absolutely. I want you to know that Jesus absolutely welcomes everybody with no qualifications. None whatsoever. He has taken care of the qualifications. The qualification is, you know, do you want to be there with him? There's your qualification. Are you willing to accept who Jesus is willing to accept you for who you are? Are you willing to accept him for who he is? Son of God, Savior, the one that loves you, the one that is can you accept that? Do you believe in what he did for you? Man, welcome to the table. This table is for everybody. There are no disqualifications. You can't say to me like, well, Obadiah, 3 years ago, I blank and I'm disqualified. You're not disqualified. Yeah, but look at my skin color. Not disqualified. But look at my hair. Not disqualified, though you really might need a haircut. But you know what? That's not a thing. No, really, not disqualified. Jesus wants to completely accept you for who you are, and he does. He wants to know if you're willing to accept him for who he is. He loves you. He wants to have a relationship with you. He wants his spirit to come in, to move into your heart like a neighborhood and live there and be a part of your day-to-day life. It's not a one-day-a-week thing. It's not a once-a-day thing. It's an all-the-time thing. Jesus goes to Burger King with you because I'm thinking about a double cheeseburger.
I was going to say, why did that one come in there?
You know, I'm like, maybe I'm going to Burger King later. Maybe Jesus is coming with me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm not talking about some religious thing. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about Burger King or Wendy's or McDonald's or whatever. I'm talking about your life. I'm talking about class and work. I'm talking about what happens after. I'm talking about your trip to the movies later. I'm talking about when you're laying in bed alone and you're scared and nervous and worried or are so excited you can't sleep. That's what I'm talking about. That's where God wants to be a part of. The only way you get disqualified is by you saying no. That's it. So that's up to you, right? Man, I've said yes. And having Jesus be a part of my everyday is, honestly, it's the only reason I'm here, because I couldn't have made it here without that. There's so many things in my life I just wouldn't have been able to have because I couldn't have handled it, and God helped me. I want him to help you. I'm not any more special than anyone else. It's for you too. Say, Jesus, I need that. I want to come to your table. I want to come. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I accept you for who you are, and I want your acceptance too. Let's do life together. And God is all about that. He wants to be a part of your day.
With virtual reality, the possibilities are endless. It gives us the ability to live out any of our wildest dreams. So maybe we can use it to pretend the riot doesn't exist. The Riot on Radio U.
Hey, Nikki, what year is it?
2017.
Okay.
For one moment, I was like, wait, what year is it? Is it a trick?
Well, I just wanted to check because I don't know if you've heard it, but once again, I can tell you that hoverboards are catching on fire like it's 2015.
Why is that still happening?
Oh, it's back, baby!
Is it older ones that people, like, you had them plugged in these several years and you've not been using them?
That's a great question. Well, here's what I have right here.
Or these new ones?
I've got a dad who bought 2 hoverboards on eBay. On eBay, he was like, but that... This is so great. That seller had 100% buyer feedback rating.
Doesn't mean the product, though.
Yep. And so he set it up to charge in the living room, and lo and behold, they smoking! And, they burned down. So he got in touch with the Consumer Product Safety Commission, and
they were like, hey, where have you been?
Yeah, like, hello? Have you ever watched the news?
I mean, this was a while ago.
But I do think it's worth saying that even though they are not the new hotness, that they used to be, they're saying that, like, people have this attitude that, hey, these are all fixed. Like, these are fine. They were bad, but you can buy them now.
I think it just depends on where you're buying them at. Like, if you're trying to go for a cheap one, there's plenty, and I think those are still the old ones.
Yeah.
But if you want to spend some cash on them, maybe the newer ones are some of the safer ones.
Well, I do not know the brand that he ended up buying, but it's not good, Nikki. And he bought them on eBay. So
nothing you can really do about it.
Yeah, you're at that point, you're screwed, man. Like, that's one of those things, like, you better. I've gotten to that place too where I'll say even some stuff will show up on eBay a little bit cheaper. Mm-hmm. Like, this has been a while ago, but I wanted another Xbox controller, and I was just like, you know what? If that thing breaks, even though I saved $5, I got nowhere to go with that.
You're out.
At least if I go buy it at, like, Best Buy or Walmart, and granted, you got, 30 days, but, like, if something happens to it, I'm like, hey, something's wrong with this. And that's the tone you use, and they love that.
That's
when you
actually
talk
what he
to them
sounds
like
when he goes to the desk, front desk to return it, and people love him for it.
People at customer service, they
appreciate
when
it.
You start by yelling at them.
Yeah, especially that, hey!
My name's not hey, tone. Sir. My name is Billy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the word. They're back at it. 24 states in the United States have had hoverboard fires. 13 companies have been investigated by the National Product Testing and Evaluation Center. And in 2016, the Consumer Product Safety Commission recalled more than 500,000 hoverboards. That's July of last year.
The hoverboard thing's old. I'm going to leave it at this. Wire management, okay? When it comes to, like, your charging stations, your phones, our electronics and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe keep an eye on them. I'm always worried because I have a lot, so you want to make sure.
I just got stuff plugged in everywhere.
Make sure it's good, and if it's something that potentially had a problem in the past, keep it away from other things or keep it in a safe place. Like in the sink or something.
Bathtub.
Charge.
Well, that doesn't sound very good
either.
either.
In it, that's actually very dangerous. I meant more like if you're watching it and you just need a quick place to hose it off if it catches on fire.
I think what it comes down to is you and I are not qualified to give advice on these things.
We're like not even for doctor stuff. Doctor or electronics.
Seek
put in the shower.
Well, I meant like not.
No, I exactly what I meant.
But see, that's why you shouldn't listen. You should listen to us, but you shouldn't listen to us.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
It's just me that looks strong.